You're all set, Chairperson. I believe we might have lost the chairperson. We'll give her a few more minutes to see if she can log back in.
Oh, recording secretary?
You're all set, Chairperson.
Sorry, I was on mute.
Not a problem.
Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. This meeting is taking place entirely by teleconference via Zoom. The public is accessing the meeting via the Santa Ana YouTube channel or the city's website. The subcommittee members and I, along with city staff and the recording secretary, are in different locations. Please bear with us as the technology may disrupt the flow of the meeting, and apologies to everyone. You will most likely or probably hear the cartoons in the back. So I would like to call the May 10th, 2022 school collaboration city council meeting the city council subcommittee regular meeting to order at 12:06 p.m. Will the recording secretary please take the roll call?
Thank you, Chairperson. Commissioner Mendoza.
Present.
Commissioner Hernandez.
Present.
Chairperson Lopez.
Here.
You have a quorum, Chairperson.
Thank you, recording secretary. And I would actually like to ask Councilmember Mendoza if she can lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance today.
I would be glad to.
Thank you.
So would you please stand? Place your hand over your heart. And if you were in military or currently a veteran, you may salute. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, under God, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilmember Mendoza. Next on the agenda is time for the public secretary. Do we have anyone that would like to speak?
Chairperson Lopez, at this point in time, there are no public comments.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to move on to the consent calendar items. Today on the consent item number 1, which are the minutes of the regular meeting of the March 8th, 2022 meeting. The second item is the excuse absences. Council members, would anyone like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the March 8th, 2022 meeting and the excuse absences?
I'll make a motion. Chair Member Lopez.
And I will second that.
Thank you, council members. Recording secretary. Recording secretary, do you need a motion for that?
We'll do a roll call.
Perfect.
Commissioner Mendoza.
Yes.
Commissioner Hernandez.
Yes.
Chairperson Lopez.
Yes.
Duly noted.
Thank you. That is the end of the consent calendar. Next is the business calendar. There are 3 items. One is the use of SAUSD facilities by the community without a service fee. And I'm going to turn this over to the Recreation and Community Services Manager, Tim Pagano, to provide us with an update. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Lopez, and good afternoon, council members. Just a brief update, and I just wanted to point out that I also have Margarita Macedonio, District Manager and Senior Community Planner with our Neighborhood Initiatives Division, joining us as well today in case there are any questions with regards to the update. She's worked closely with Comlink's discussions with Santa Ana Unified School District, so she may have a little further detail if there are any questions that stem from the update. The good news is that this agreement is moving forward and it has been drafted at the school district level that will allow for the neighborhood associations to access SAUSD facilities for their respective meetings. the next step is that the agreement will be forwarded to Daisy Perez, assistant to the city manager, and it will be reviewed from her office. And then the next steps will be determined after the review as far as who will actually execute the agreement with the school district. And that's the update that we have. I'd be happy to answer any questions. And again, Margarita is online too if there's any questions that she may assist with. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. I really appreciate the update, and I think it's really good news that that the board or the school district has come back and said that they're willing to work with the neighborhood associations. I think I'm comfortable speaking on behalf of all of us, and we say that that's great to hear. Council members, are there any questions or any feedback you have for Margarita or Tim?
So just to verify, the school district is not going to assess a fee for our community when they have meetings or any other type of events in using the classrooms?
That's my understanding. Like I said, it's still at the school district level, but the agreement is in draft form and will be reviewed by our assistant to the city manager. So in terms of the details, I'm going to make an assumption that based on our request and the neighborhood association's request, that's where the agreement is going to lie, with the access to the facilities for meetings and with no fees being assessed to our neighborhood associations.
Tim, it's Margarita. If I could add
Sure.
For the council members a question. Yeah, the understanding is it's for neighborhood meetings, which is different from special events that neighborhoods may want to have at the schools. So that would be like a different conversation, but it's just to have that first access to the classrooms or the multi-purpose rooms for purposes of having or convening their neighborhood meeting.
Thank you for that clarification, Margarita. I think that's helpful for us. Are there any other questions? Okay, so staff, do you need any direction from us? I think this is more informational at this point.
Chairperson, this is a receive and file.
Okay, thank you, recording secretary. I'm gonna move along to item 5, which is the city/school joint use agreements. And I'm gonna turn this over to the committee member Hernandez to address.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Chairperson. There is a item number 4, which is emergency preparedness.
Oh, sorry about that, everyone. Let's roll back the tape. Let's go to item 4, which is the emergency preparedness. I will turn this over to committee member Mendoza to address. Councilmember, there you go.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So in bringing this item to the committee is my intent is that we be prepared in case of cyber attack. This is like the what do they call them? Like ransomware or phishing scams to computers for employees. And I want to see what kind of training and educational programs we've had for our city employees, and bring it up to the attention of the district as well, so that all of us are informed and more alert and recognize what it is that when we're going through our emails, to ensure that we're not clicking on any dangerous and risky and potentially debilitating links or PDFs. And recently I just found out in the training that I went to was that we actually had a conference on the whole cybersecurity issue, where it's just one very innocent looking document that an employee clicked on of one of the other neighboring cities, and it infected the entire their entire computer system, and then they wanted like $100,000 to restore it. And so the city chose not to pay the ransom, but it cost them thousands and thousands and lots of time to rebuild their system. And so I don't want our city to go through that, or our district. And I wanted to inform you of a new phishing scam that I was not aware of, where you're logged into your Google account, and then this email comes up, and you click on it. Click on the form, which is something that looks very authentic and genuine, and then it takes you back to your Google sign-in, and it asks you to sign in again, and it asks for your password again. So those you need to be aware of, because that is there's a hacker on the dark web, and he or she is waiting for you just to re-enter your username and your password, because it's and that's the way they get access to your email, and they can hack into your bank accounts, whatever it is that you have on wherever you get emails from. And so imagine if we get that in our citywide bank accounts and our own personal stuff that we have on this computer. So if you ever get anything or ask to again to sign in again, to log in again, and a password again, be sure to check the URL and ensure that it's something that's legitimate. If not, just get out of that quickly and never click again on something like that, and report it to your IT department. And so I'm not sure how we can just bring this kind of attention to our staff, but something that's very important that we are all aware of. And so I welcome any suggestions or information on what we are, and what the city's doing, and what the district is doing as well.
Thank you, Subcommittee Member Mendoza. Cybersecurity is definitely a top issue, and thanks again for bringing this item forward. It's definitely something that I, take very seriously, and I believe our staff does too. And I guess maybe the district could also share some of the tools that they use, because I do think it's important that folks stay updated with all of the new ways that people would try to take advantage of folks or steal information. So thank you for sharing that new phishing experience you had. I think it's great that everybody know about it.
Hi, Chair Member Lopez. This is Vice Chair Hernandez. I'm also supportive, Councilmember Mendoza. So I'd like to see, however we can strengthen our efforts of cybersecurity. I think that's always a good thing. So thank you for bringing this forward.
Thank you, subcommittee members. We'll move on to item 5 now, which is the city/school joint use, and I'll turn this over to Committee Member Hernandez to address.
Thank you, Chair Member Lopez. So I brought this forward as it looks to be. We are starting to come out of our pandemic, but we of course always have to be safe and courteous of others. But I brought this forward because as we start to see more families spending time outside in open spaces, I thought this was a great opportunity for us to discuss between our city how we can improvise and utilize school space to provide recreational, programming after school hours. So my vision is for us to utilize a joint use agreement where we as a city can help by providing, classroom space in partnership with the district to nonprofits that we have in our city. So an example would be OCTAC teaching, a violin class at Fremont Elementary. My vision would be, the TKO Boxing Club, providing, after school fitness programming on the rooftops of Fremont Elementary. So how do we utilize these, wonderful school facilities and really maximize programming and services to families? I think joint use agreements would be tremendous for families, children, and our schools, and more importantly, our city.
Thank you,
So that
subcommittee.
concludes my comments. Is that I think this is a great partnership between the school district and the city, and I think it's a good way for us to maximize public space.
Thank you, Subcommittee Hernandez. Subcommittee Member Mendoza?
Yes, I agree with that. I would be supportive of that. I think that is a very good way to make better use or more use of resources, public resources, for the benefit of our communities. And I think it would also bring our community into a more bonded, more trusting, more family-oriented sense and environment. And it would have some activities for the youth to do and to keep them busy and to give them a view of other things other than just going home and starting homework. This would be something that's what they can look forward to, get your homework done, and then we're going to go out to the rooftop, listen to some music, or watch a movie, or do other activities. I'm very supportive of that.
Wonderful. I'm also very supportive, and I think this is one of those topics that possibly can just transfer over to the newly established joint subcommittee that was recently approved by the entire council not too long ago. I believe the school district is in the process of appointing who will sit or who will represent the board on their end. And so I think this is a conversation that we can definitely, continue to have with them so that we can figure out what sites the city can establish a joint use, what kind of activities we would like to partner up with them, and all of the details. And so staff, I think you heard that all of us are very supportive and would like to see the conversation continue. And I see you nodding, Tim.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, just as an update, excuse me, Councilmember Lopez.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, in terms of the school joint use agreements that we currently operate, we have 8 that we currently have in place with Willard Intermediate, Garfield, Roosevelt Walker, Monte Vista, Madison, Godinez, Monroe, and Fremont at this point. And they all cover different aspects of the facilities and the I guess the athletic facilities and parts of the respective school sites and everything. But I know that Executive Director Rudloff just shared with you the first draft, or maybe even the final version of our Parks Master Plan, in which one of the strategies is to explore, joint use agreements with the school district. And I think the last time I counted, there was upwards of 30 opportunities for joint use agreements within the Santa Ana Unified School District and the city. So that is definitely a strategy upon the passing of the Parks Master Plan that I think our agency will be pursuing so that we can align with some of the visions and some of the discussions that have been had here today. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the friendly reminder. I definitely appreciate that. And I'm really excited to explore, some of those other sites that you mentioned. So next on the agenda are subcommittee member comments. We will start
Chairperson,
with-
I'm sorry to interrupt, Chairperson. This is a provide direction
Oh, okay.
on the city school joint use item. So if I'm understanding correctly, the commission wishes to continue this conversation once the new commission body of the City of Santa Ana SAUSD joint meeting has been established. Is that correct?
Councilmember Hernandez, since this was your item, does that sound okay with you, or did you want to go in a different direction?
No, I would like it to be brought back to the new committee that we just formed that is inclusive of SAUSD.
Duly noted.
Recording secretary, do you need a motion for that?
No, this was just to provide direction on the item, so we'll continue it once the new body has been established.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for guiding me through this. I really appreciate it. So next on the agenda are the subcommittee member comments. We're going to start with subcommittee member Mendoza.
Well, I would like to wish all of you who are mothers, a Mexican Mother's Day. Today is a very special day. And so if you're fortunate to celebrate both holidays, it's nice to get more bouquet of flowers rather than just from Sunday. And so let's see, the other thing is I recently attended a water conference, and so we continue to emphasize the importance of conserving water. And I know that our city has a very strong conserve water program, and so I think there's some literature that goes out. I don't get correspond the water bill any longer. I get it online, so I don't know if the insert goes into the water bill. And so I would just like to maybe remind us, the school district, if there's something that we could put into, send home with the kids so that the parents can continue to have that in mind, to just be conscientious of your watering habits and conserving water as much as possible, and to teach their kids to turn off the water, turn off the faucet when you're brushing your teeth, and shorter showers, of course. So let's see if we can all beat this drought together.
Thank you for that important PSA.
Yes,
Subcommittee member Mendoza. Very important. Subcommittee member Hernandez.
Yeah, I just want to thank staff and our interpreter and recording secretary, Mr. Pagano, Chair Member Lopez, and my colleague, Councilmember Mendoza, for serving today. And I'm very much looking forward to our next meeting. And thank you guys for the opportunity to work together today.
Thank you, Subcommittee Member Hernandez. My comments will be very short. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. As soon as we know more of when the joint subcommittee will meet, we'll have staff share that via the social media channels so folks can tune in and provide us with comments and concerns. We're excited to be able to work together and help build bridges. So this is going to conclude today's meeting. The next regular meeting is going to take place on Tuesday, June 14th, 2022 at 12 p.m. And that might be a tentative day. I'll just say that. But if there's nothing else, we can call this meeting to a close at 12:28 p.m. Thanks, everyone.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.